We're gonna be practicing tantric yoga. And Leah is gonna be leading us through that experience. For me, I'm going head first into this experience.
And we're gonna come into boat pose.
I'm not a yogi, I don't know a lot of the positions that we're doing, but I am open-minded and I'm open to experiencing this with Serena.
Drop your belly low. Beautiful. Right?
I didn't think I could still do this.
I just am like so into Serena. I'm just taking in who she is as a person. And I know.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say. That's Matt and Serena P. taking in each other on their totally normal tantric yoga date. It was another week of heartbreak on The Bachelor. Matt began last night's episode with 11 women in contention, but with hometown dates looming next week, the field of potential wives had to be dramatically cut to just 4. Wow. And that means, once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for 77% of America Loves Ted. And joining me today from Bachelor headquarters is producer Ted Johnson. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning.
Okay, so how did that go over? How did that tantric yoga? I almost said tantric nookie, but anyway, how did the that's after dark. How did that go over?
Yeah, Serena P. not so much into the taking each other in as a person thing.
Yeah.
If you could see it on her face, Serena P. thought it was a weird date.
Well, yeah. Look at this.
She was like, I would not have chosen this as our date. This is their second date. And he's like, oh, let's do tantric yoga. And she's just like, you're weird. Get out of my face.
Yeah, look at her. You can totally tell by her body language. She's like, can we just go to like IHOP or something?
Yeah. Note to anyone out there who's on a potential second date, don't do tantric yoga.
Okay, so somebody, what was her name? Heather, she came back last week?
Heather, so remember Heather, she walks in, she was the never been kissed girl from Colton's season. So she quarantines for 2 weeks to get back on the season with Matt. She thinks he's the one. Well, I mean, hometown dates are next week. So he's like, yeah, you can't stay. And so she has to walk back to the minivan that she rented and drive that away.
I'm sorry. Sorry. She's driving? ABC can't afford a driver?
Yep. If you, I guess, come in this late, you have to rent a minivan.
Oh my.
The first bachelorette in history to ever have to drive the minivan away.
Wow, I know times are tough over there on the Alphabet Network, but you would think, and nothing against minivans, but this is a primetime television show.
Yeah, you would think that they would be able to at least get her a driver.
But get her an Uber. An Uber's $47 to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of your favorites was Abigail, and rumor has it that what happened to her prevented you from sleeping well last night.
I woke up this morning and I was still angry. Okay, Abigail, we loved her. Week 1, she was the stuff. Remember her? She's the one who's deaf, like the first deaf contestant ever, and she opens up to him. Night 1, he gives her the first impression rose, right?
Yeah.
So first impression rose usually means you're a front runner. Well, she has not gotten a one-on-one date since that first impression rose. So it's like, what in the world is going on? Well, last night she sort of sat him down and said, what in the world is going on? And this is how he explained why he was sending her home. Leo?
From night 1, our first conversation, I was instantly drawn to you. You were vulnerable with me, you're beautiful, and compassionate, understanding, everything that I'm looking for. And it was a no-brainer that I give you the first impression rose. And I was so comfortable in our relationship that I explored other relationships. And in exploring those relationships with other women and going on those one-on-ones, I did grow strong feelings for them. and being honest with you and following my heart. My heart's pulling me in another direction. I apologize.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So he liked her so much that he didn't feel the need to pursue anything with her. So he pursued other women.
And shockingly, he developed feelings for those other women. He basically put her in the freezer and was like, I'm going to put her in the freezer for now, and then we'll bring her out in a few weeks. And then he just never took her out.
And we all know after a while, food gets freezer burn. And it's never as good as when you initially put it in the freezer. So how did that poor lady react? Was she mad? She should be.
Yeah, she was mad. She was mad, as was I.
Okay. And finally, he had a one-on-one with Jessenia. What's her name?
Jessenia. Okay,
Jessenia.
like, who is she and why is she getting the one-on-one when Abigail could have gotten the one-on-one? Anyways, he goes on this one-on-one date. They're at their dinner, and he's wearing, like, a pullover sweater. Like, at least dress up a little bit for this. So then he says, she's like, I'm in love with you, even though we haven't spent any time together. And then he starts dangling the rose in front of her, and he sends her home.
Wow.
So we could have given that to Abigail.
We're down to 4. Give me the 4, Ted.
So we've got Bree. We have Michelle. Michelle's the local girl from Edina.
Okay.
We have Serena P., who we saw, who I think he's probably more into her than she is into him. And then we have the controversial one, Rachel, who
Yeah.
is
Yep.
probably going to win.
Well, at least he'll give us a segment or two to talk about. There we go. Thank you, Ted.
Abigail!
Thank you, Ted.